All right, so now we're going to go to bigger ones. And so now we're doing a 3 by 3. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that's my line. And then I'm going to have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And I've got a 1 here. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to say minus 2 row 1 plus row 2 is my new row 2. This way I save some space. So now I have 1, minus 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. And then minus 2 plus that is going to be a 0. Minus 2, that's going to be 2. Minus 1, so that's going to be 1. So it's looking good. 0 and then 1. That's going to be a minus 2. That's going to be a 1. That's going to be a 0. And we still have our 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Now I need to make this a 0. So I'm going to say minus row 2 plus row 3 is my new row 3. All right, so we have 1, minus 1, 0. 1, 0, 0. 0, 1, 1, minus 2, 1, 0. Then I have 0, 0, 0. And then I have a 2, minus 1, and a 1. But guess what? That's all zeros again on that row, and I have to have a 1 to make it identity. So there again is no inverse. Okay, so we're done. So when we run into those are really nice. We don't have to do anything else. All right. Well, let's do another one. All right, so these are bigger numbers, so it'll probably be a little bit more work to it. So again, let's put 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And first things first, let's take a minus row 1, and that's going to be my new row 1. Now, I can also take 3 times row 1 plus row 2, and that's going to be my new row 2. And I can say, well, let's take a minus 2 row 1 plus row 3, and that's my new row 3. So basically, I'm going to make this a 1 and those two zeros all in one step. So again, some people aren't going to be comfortable with that. Some people will want to do this one first, and then they'll take this one next and make that a 0. Take this one next, make that a 0, and that's fine. If you want to do it in 3 steps, that's just fine. So that's going to give me what? 1, a 1, minus 4. Then a minus 1, a 0, and a 0. I'm going to take 3 times this plus that. That's going to be 0. 3 times this plus that. That's going to be 0. 3 times that's going to be 12 minus 12. So that's going to be what? Minus 10. 3 times that's going to be 3, and then 1, and then 0. And then I'm going to take a minus 2 plus 2 is going to be 0. That's going to be 2 minus 1, so that's going to be a 1. That's going to be a minus 8 plus that, so that's going to be what, 11. Then we're at minus 2 here. Then we're going to be at a 0 and then a 1. All right. Now, I think I'm going to do two things again because I need this to be a 1 and the 1's down here. So I'm going to say let's take row 2 and swap it with row 3. So we're just swapping those two rows. And then I'm also going to do at the same time, I'm going to take a minus 1/10 row 2, and that's going to be my kind of my new row 3 also. It's maybe I should do it. I could say minus 1/10 row 2 goes to row 3, and then row 3 goes to row 2. That could be that. But either case, I am going to understand what I'm doing here. So we'll say that. All right, so let's see here. We had a 1, a minus 4, a minus 1, a 0, a 0. So now I take this one up here, 0, 1, 11, and then a minus 2, a 0, a 1. Then I'm taking a tenth of that row, so it's a 0, a 0, a 1, and it's a minus 1/10. So that's going to be minus 3/10. That's going to be a minus 1/10, and that's going to be 0. Okay. All right, now what? Well, now I need to make those zeros. So now I'm going to say, well, let's take 4 times row 3 plus row 1, and that's my new row 1, and a minus 11 row 3 plus row 2, and that's my new row 2. All right, so 0, 0, 1, and then a minus 3/10, minus 1/10, 0. Hopefully I can read that later. And so now I'm taking minus 11 plus that, so it's going to be a 0, 1, 0. And that's going to be what? 33. And that's going to be a positive minus, and if I make that a tenth, that's going to be minus 20. 33 minus 20, so that's going to be 13. And oh, wait, that's a tenth, not 20th. 33 minus 20 over 10, so that's going to be 13 over 10. That's going to be a plus 11 over 10. That's going to be just a 1. Now I'm taking 1, 1, that's going to be 0. 4 times this, that's going to be a minus 12 and minus 1. So, wait a minute. 4 times 3 is minus 12 tenths. Minus 1 tenth. Oh, wait. What row am I doing? Yeah, row 3. Okay. Okay, so that's going to give me, um, okay, I got to do this. I'm making things harder than they're supposed to be. So it's a minus 12 over 10 minus 1, which is going to be 10 over 10. So that's going to give me a minus 22 over 10. So it's going to be a minus 11 over 5. Okay. All right. So now let's erase that. And then we have this one, 4. So that's going to be minus 4 tenths. And that's going to be a 0. All right, some of these looks like I can reduce. That could be 2/5 there, but that's okay. We'll do it in the next one. Now it looks like I can do a minus row 2 plus row 1 as my new row 1. All right, so I have 0, 0, 1 minus 3 tenths minus 1 tenth, 0, 0, 1, 0, 13 tenths, 11 tenths, and a 1. And now I'm taking that. That's going to be 1. That's going to be 0. That's going to be 0. Minus that plus that. So that's going to be times 222. And so it's going to be what? Minus 7 halves. And then if I have that, that's going to be minus that plus that. So it's going to be uh, 11 minus 4. 7 tenths, 3 halves. All right, so minus the 11 tenths is going to be minus 11 tenths. And then minus 4 is going to be minus 15 tenths. And so that's going to give me a minus 3 halves. And then minus 1 is going to give me that one. And so minus 7 halves, minus 3 halves, minus 1. And then we have 13 tenths, 11 tenths, 1, minus 3 tenths, minus 1 tenth, 0. Okay, so, and we'll say m inverse is equal to minus 7 halves, minus 3 halves, minus 1, and 13 tenths, and 11 tenths, and 1, and minus 3 tenths, and minus 1 tenth, and 0. So that then is my inverse. And as always, the best thing to do, especially if you have your calculator handy, is take m inverse times original m and make sure you come back with the identity as far as your answer goes. All right, so let's stop there and we'll come back for another one.